Both Nita and Brian called me out. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Welcome to another Webflow Workshop. I'm your host, Nelson. Thank you all for joining me again this week. Want to say hello to all the early birds. Brian, Nita, Vitor, or Vitor. He was here first. And who else is here? Atmoceuticals Company. Hello, haven't seen you here before. Who else? I think that's about it. Hi, guys. Yeah. Happy November 1st. It's the first day of November this year, and you know what? This year went by quick. I don't know about you guys, but it just went quick for me. Um, yeah. Hopefully, you guys had a great, safe Halloween if you're here in the States. Yeah, anything else? Yeah, that's about it. So what's gonna happen what we're talking about this week is all about what we web designers can learn from graphic designers. Now, when I first started web designing, I was just more interested in the code. I remember back then when GeoCities was a thing and I was learning HTML. I would just copy HTML from another site, paste it into my own GeoCities site, and said, okay, what happened with this code? I put this code in and it did a thing. Okay, so if the p tag does this, that probably means something. I'll figure it out later. Or if I did something with the b tag, oh, okay, it bolded my text. Now I understand. So as a web designer, I was mainly focused on code. But as time went on, I'm more of a creative guy, and I noticed that, you know what? Code is just one thing, but I want to make it look good. I don't want people to be confused about my designs. And then I would, start looking at other sites that are designed very beautifully, and I'm like, how do I do that? Okay, let me try it. And I probably, just like you guys, some of you probably went to a place like Template Monster or Creative Market, bought a template, and you're like, okay, this template looks really good. I'm gonna buy it, and my site is gonna look just as good as this. And after you fiddle with it and publish it, you kind of have this feeling of it just doesn't look good enough. I mean, the layout's nice, it works, but something's missing. Um, I don't know if you guys have experienced that, but I have, and I really couldn't understand why. And so I would just buy another template and say, okay, maybe the template was bad. Let me get another one and fiddle with it. Oh, I see this Flash intro. If you remember Flash, that'll make my site look better. Okay, let me download that. And nothing really worked. And so it never clicked until I met my now wife. She went through graphic design. Traditionally, she went through all the traditional schooling. She went to college for graphic arts, did print design, did the old school letterpress stuff, and she taught me how graphic design is very beneficial for web design. And things started clicking. One of the first things that clicked was when she taught me typography. So I have a list of sites right here, and we're gonna go through them, and I'll show you the four things that I learned, four main things that I think you guys should learn to make your websites even better. So there's typography, imagery, color theory, and layout. And after I learned those four things, and I'm still learning them, I'm not the best. I'm not a graphic designer by any means, but it's starting to click more and more, and my sites are starting to look better. So here you go. When it comes to typography, you can take examples from magazines. Magazines have been doing typography forever. I mean, letterpress was the first type of typography. All right, let me give you an example. This one's from JP, awesome Webflow designer. Now, if you take a look at this site, and I'll link it in chat room too. if you take a look at this site, it's like a magazine. It's like a cover of a magazine, you know? You have the word king in the background. You know it says king, but he's covering the I and the N. But your brain is already saying, okay, it says the word king. And then you have his arm going above the first three letters of his name, but under the R. So those are some of those typography tricks you can do, you know? And then he has like a script font in the back, and then a sans serif here, and then a smaller sans serif that's like not as thick or not as what they call heavy as as his name. So yeah, whenever you're at like the grocery store, supermarket, or newspaper stand, and if a magazine catches your eye, a magazine cover catches your eye, buy it. You can take some of those techniques and put them into your Webflow designs. For people saying great shirt, is this week's topic is exactly, I'm talking about typography and fonts, and so yeah. So yeah, if I scroll down, look at that. It's like another page in the magazine, But the best thing about where we are here in the current state of web design is that we can make graphic design type of styles, but make them interactive for the web. For instance, this little opening door type effect, of course you can't do that with a piece of paper. You can't make that interactive. And so that's the best part about web now. You can merge graphic design with web design interactions. All right? A magazine article can't have a background video. But look at that. So take typography into consideration when you're making websites. Okay? All right, here's another example for typography I want to show you guys. So I found some stuff on awards, awwards.com. And look at this. So you can play around with type where it's masking an image. And so in the middle of the letters, you have an image inside of it. And we all know that Interactions 2.0 is coming, right? So this is probably something we all can do really easily. So, and people, if you're asking, when is it coming out, Interactions 2.0? Soon. I want to do stuff like this as bad as you guys, but yes, it's coming soon. But yeah, so back on typography. See, different things are happening here. Okay, so you have a sans serif. Oh, and if you don't know what sans serif means and serif means, see those little tick marks at the end of the T and at the bottom of the T and the H and all that stuff? Those are called serifs. And notice this font up here doesn't have those little ticks, those little flicks in their characters. Yeah, that means it's sans serif. It doesn't have a serif. So yeah, that's something simple and basic. And so they're playing around with their headlines, their titles are sans serif, but the actual paragraphs are serifs. Okay? Another example. Let me see here. Method Digital. Here we go. So again, serifs and sans serifs put together. Okay, if I scroll down again. Okay. Yeah, so just showing you some examples. And here's a good website to bookmark. It's called FontPair. This helps you pair up fonts that are readily available in Google Web Fonts. So you can put this into your Webflow site and play around and see which fonts work for you. Okay, like for example, this one with this one, and so forth. Okay? Yeah, so typography will really help your site stand out. Now, I'll go into some questions at the end of my topic, so hold on tight to those and ask them when I'm done. But yeah. So yeah, that's typography. Okay, now imagery and photography, and this is one of the biggest things that opened up my eyes. Like, that's what's missing from my sites. I've been trying to make my sites better than the templates that I bought, but it never worked. Why? And I could never figure it out. And it's imagery and photography. Okay? Let me give you an example. Here's one of the templates that we have on Webflow. Okay? It's a realtor website. And let me just go ahead and preview it in a new tab. We'll just take it all in. Okay? So, it's beautiful. You know, it's like, man, if I'm a realtor, I want my site to be like this. It'll help me find more clients. It'll make my brand, it'll make me stand out from the rest of the crowd. Man, it's so cool. You know, look at that. It's simple UX, like, oh, this one's for sale, and this is iconography is beautiful. It's like, wow, you know. So if you're a realtor and you buy this, thinking that your site will look as good as this, and you don't understand imagery or photography, your site will have a nice layout, but it'll be okay. Okay? Now, the reason why this site works, the reason why this template looks beautiful, is because the photography. Look at these architectures. Look at these houses, you know? They're beautiful. They're different. Now, if you just took a regular camera phone that doesn't do, I don't know, 4K quality video or really high res photos like a DSLR, then the photos will come out looking bad, and you can't expect your site to look good if the images look bad, because the images is what everyone looks for when it comes to websites, especially with real estate, you know? So, another thing about imagery is stock photography. If you're using the same images as everyone else in your same industry, then you're not standing out. It's always good to put custom photography or hire a photographer to make your sites look custom. Okay? So yeah. Let me go to another site. I think we have another... this one right here. Another template we have for restaurants. Okay? Again, why does this look good? It's because someone took a photo of ingredients and staged it. No one just put ingredients on a table and said, okay, take a picture of it. No, someone actually meticulously staged it in a way that would look good on a photo while giving space in the middle of the photo for text. Right? So this is where it's very stock photo-ish, and it looks okay. It seems very fake because it's a stock photo. So if you were to buy this template, I would really suggest taking a photo of the real staff, but have it professionally done, because you can probably see these three people on another website. Okay, so what I'm saying is custom photography. If you don't have a photographer that you know of, find one, because it'll help your client's sites come out better. Also, food photography. Very important. See how everything just looks good? It's not because of the layout. Well, I mean, it's half of the layout, but the other half is imagery. Okay. Do I have any more? Let's skip down to... okay, so this one right here. I just saw this recently. Oh, take this out. There we go. Alright, they're probably not done with this yet, but how it's beautiful already to me, because this is custom photography. Okay? Rather than just putting some random headshot, they actually had a photographer take their headshots. They actually had a photographer take pictures of them in some sort of wooden clubhouse, you know? It shows their personality. You know? They like to work outdoors, but they're in tune with technology. So everything is staged, but it still feels real. Okay? So now we don't have photography here, but we have nice iconography that all fits together, because this is kind of line artish. This is a line. It kind of feels like line art here. So it all works well. Okay, so there's portfolios out there, you know, that whenever I see a portfolio and I say there's no personality, I want to see pictures of you. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This isn't interactive at all. Like, I can't click on any of them, but this explains their personality, okay? Laptops, outdoors, indoors, but in a very soft light. Laptops, hardworking and wired in and stuff like that. Happy face outdoors. So yes, this explains their personality of their company. You want to show photos of that, because you don't want to tell people, hey, you're hiring robots. You want to tell people, hey, you're hiring real people that really care about your project. Call us up. Okay? And then they have testimonials, and each testimonial has a photo of the person who said it. That's very important. Okay. So that's imagery. Cool? Last two things, color theory and layout. So color theory. So I think it was Riley. Riley's in the chat room. Yes. So I said that I was going to use this for this week's this week's workshop, and here you go. Visual guide for color. So he made this in Webflow. Great job, Riley. And so he explains what colors mean, okay? And for example, red means love, anger, energy, loud. Orange means these: fruity, engaging, vibrant, healthy. Bright, yellow is bright, light, sun, heat. Green is fresh, nature, money, life. Blue is calm, safe, friendly, depressing. Violet is wealthy, superior. So yeah, basically color. And so color really adds a lot to your site, okay? And it has a lot of meaning. So take that into consideration. Let me give you an example. This one is meant to be fun. It's a festival. Okay, let me translate it. Okay, if I scroll down, this is fun. A lot of fun colors. Okay. Let's go to another one. This one is fun as well. So this one, academia, and it's fun but educational. It's supposed to make schools awesome. And whoa, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. You can hover over these. Ah, and he added outer. Okay. That's cool. Let me link this so you guys can play around with it too. Awesome. At first, I was like, what's going on? Alright, so yeah, it makes it awesome, right? So if we go down here, the main color is white to be clean, but pops of color to make it fun. Okay? It's kind of like Google, you know? Look at that. Oh, gotta fix that. Oh, even the hovers. That's cool. It's fun. Is this immediate event or a mix? Not sure what you mean, Lawrence. This is a academics website. Okay. All right. Now for something minimal and modern. So this is a portfolio site that I've shown off before, but he just uses black and white. except for his work. Yeah, so using black and white, so letting his projects come out, letting his projects be the thing that pops out with color. But everything about him is very minimal. So it gives that feeling of, okay, this guy is very serious, but he's very minimal and he's modern. So yeah, it feels like that. Completely different from the academia or the festival website. All right, now for something more serious. Black, gray, and red. Okay. So the red is the thing that pops out and it feels very serious, especially with these serif type of font that feels very, you know, old school computer screens or old school typewriters. Yeah. Okay. So for something serious, it'd be very dark. And then lastly, something soft and healthy. Completely different side. Instead of serious, this is supposed to be fun, healthy, and soft. Like, the reason why they want to make this site soft is because, you know, it's supposed to be good for your body. It's supposed to be healthy. So if I go here to products, yeah. And see what they're doing with the typography in the background? The name of this product is called Eject 1, but they're hiding it because the bottle goes on top of it, but you can still slide it. And so, again, a magazine effect inside of interactive websites. Okay? All right. Let's go one more page here. Yeah. See, it's very calming. Like, if I were to put a black background, then it'd be like something serious, you know? Like an energy drink or something like that. Kind of like a Monster Energy. How they have, like, a popping green, lime green, neon green logo, but all their backgrounds, even their cans, are, like, dark. And I'll give all these links on the forum posts for the workshop. So, yeah. Okay, lastly, layout. Try to come up with a different layout if you're allowed to with your clients, okay? For example, this one right here. It's not a scroll up and down. It's if you scroll down, it scrolls horizontally. Now, I'm not a big fan of these type of things, but if you can pull it off, then more power to you. So I'm scrolling up and down, but it goes left and right, and it's a different kind of layout. And again, it's like a magazine. Instead of scrolling, you're turning a page, going to another site. Or, I mean, going to another project. Okay. And lastly, we're going to go back to this one because I think it has a really different layout. Okay, this is the home page and it's pretty cool. Like, see how the word lab is cut off, but it's behind and it's playing around with the hero row. And this one, it has a parallax scrolling effect there. Like, all of this you can do in Webflow. Okay. See, look at that menu button. Oh, man, that's cool. That's so cool. All right. Lastly, okay, yeah. So, what does this all mean? What does typography, imagery, color theory, layout? What does it all mean? It means when someone doesn't know your brand, like say it's your portfolio site, no one knows who you are, okay? And that's most of the time whenever we as new designers or new agencies want to put ourselves out there and say, hey, we're looking for clients because we do some awesome work, we make some awesome websites. But here's the thing, why should someone care? Why should someone trust you? If you're going to you're going to a store in real life, you're going to a store and you want to buy something. Now, if that place has a brand name you've never heard of, immediately you're going to be like, okay, I'll walk in the store and see how I feel about it. And then you see the product that you want to buy, but everything around you seems a bit shifty, like you're unsure if this is a real business. Would you give that store clerk your credit card? Think about that. Would you? That's the same thing that's happening on your portfolio sites. Will this person who just walks into your store feel like they want to give you their credit card information and give you money to build them something, to give them a product? You got to think about that. So whenever you put something on a page, always place it on your page and think, why is it there? Why did I put a picture in my hero row that shows this? Does it reflect my business? Does it reflect what I'm trying to portray? Does the copy, does the words on my site portray who I am as a designer? You know, does the colors that I use portray the feeling I want to give to a user who comes into my store? And lastly, does the layout make sense? Is it unique but not confusing? All right. So graphic design, huge influence on web design. And now that we have faster speeds of internet, we can have background videos auto playing, we can have high res images, and still have the browser do these awesome interactions. Think about graphic design and use that to your advantage to make your site look different. Okay. Yeah. So that's the topic. Let's go to some questions. I know that I skipped some questions over, but I wanted to have it all at one time. So any questions about the topic? And then later we'll have questions about Webflow. So, Terrence asks, how do you see UX and graphic designers work together? Great question. Thanks to the power of Webflow, it's easier for graphic designers and UX designers to work together because with Webflow, it's in real time. So if a graphic designer is like, let's change the color a little bit lighter, you can drag your color picker to a different color, and you'll see instant results. Rather than having to code it in CSS, save it, and refresh the browser. It happens in real time. So both of you can sit at one table watching the same screen, and you guys are working together hand in hand. If something needs to be changed by a couple pixels, like need to push a margin or a padding somewhere, or change the font or change the font size, it happens instantaneously. So yeah. Scrolling down. Are your notes available somewhere? They will be available on the forum post. Let me do it right now. Let me just copy all this. Copy this. Go here. Let me edit this one. Actually, no, let me press reply. Paste. I'll fix the formatting later. But yeah. Let me link this. There you go. Scroll back up. Yeah, Brian's on top of it. Yeah. In digital marketing, we push for organic photos. Yes, that's what I mean, but Brian's on top of it. Good photography adds trust. Yes, it's all about credibility. Can I trust your site? Can I trust your brand with my $1,000 to build a site? You know, that's a lot of money. Can I trust the transaction to go through? And you will give me a product that works. Okay? Right, at the moment, CRO mean again? Landing pages use one hero image or video. Yeah. Photography. Headshots are the same size, consistent. Yes. Nelson, unrelated question. What DSLR mid-range camera would you suggest to use? So, yeah, I'm not a photographer. Yash, I'm not a photographer. When it comes to photography, I get someone else to do it, or I just do my best with my phone. Huh? What? Huh? Oh yeah. Well, would I suggest Nikon or Canon for websites?
Never use your phone.
Okay, so the graphic designer beside me is saying never use your phone. Okay. See, I'm not a graphic designer. So she's been using Rebels, Canon Rebels.
It's an old one.
It's very old. Should I? It's like the first DSLR they ever made. It's that old. Here.
It's old, but it works.
Yeah, it's old, but how many megapixels? Like 2 or something?
I don't know, but it works.
Alright, so this guy right here. Oh my god, it's so old.
It does its job.
Let's see here. Where's the logo on this thing? Oh, there it is. It's... God, it's so old. Look at that. But it works. Sorry if I mentioned using your phone. Sorry. Oh, she's all like... God, I feel bad now. Alright, let's go down. Have a great day going to dinner. Oh, bye, Terrence. You probably already left, though. Let's hear more from the graphic designer. She's actually busy right now. Conversion rate optimization. Ah, okay. CRO. I'll remember that. Thank you, Brian. Nelson is sleeping on the couch tonight. Something where I can have a design going, but if I want to try a new design feature or go back to a previous state, then I can pull up a list of states Yes, that would be cool. That's I think in GitHub they call it like forking and merging and stuff like that, Riley. That would be really cool in Webflow. Yeah. Version control. Yes. All right. If there's no other questions about this topic, we'll go into Webflow questions. And if you're working on anything, go ahead and post your webflow.io links and let's look at them. Okay. Do these website meet the web standards for visual impaired users? Ah, good point. When it comes to visually impaired users, that's when you would use a lot of title tags, alt tags for your images, and so on. So that way, when their mouse hovers over an element, the narrative, the screen reader will say it over the speakers what that element is based on your tags. Okay, Brandon, late to the party, but hey everyone. Hello, Brandon. Welcome. Chavez, welcome. Brainstorm Studio, I haven't seen you here before, so hello. Just joined now. Did I miss a lot? You missed the whole topic, but my notes are here on the forum, and I'll link it in the chat room later. But yeah, any questions about Webflow, web design, anything you're working on? Yeah. Hey Nelson, hope you're doing well. I've noticed a drop in my SEO over the last few weeks. Is there any known reason why or something on the Webflow end? Huh. Try posting your question, John, over on the forum so I can take a look at your site and Put your read-only link too, so people can dissect and see what's going on. Usual things is make sure that all your SEO tags are in the page settings. They probably are, but I'm just going through the things. Make sure that you've submitted your sitemap to Google Webmaster Tools. Anything else on the top of my head? Open Graph is it helps a lot. So set those settings. But yeah, just seeing blindly, those things I would make sure to double check on. Yash, sorry guys, have to leave. Peace. Oh, see ya. Thank you for joining us. Let's see here. All right, Eddie, let's see what you're working on. Oh, okay, it's a store. Okay, so if your padding feels tight, okay, and so this is where layout comes in. Okay, this is where white space, negative space comes into play. Because do you want your storefront to look very compressed, or do you want people's eyes to breathe so they can walk around a bit, have some space when they're looking around at the product? Your site can look like, a store that just has all this random stuff put into one shelf, or you can have a store that breathes and people can walk around and have a chance to look at everything. So what I mean is a little bit more space around the logo, like probably add a padding to the top and bottom of your nav bar to give it more space, okay? Like you have a lot of space here at the top and bottom of this, but there's not a lot of space here for this filter. And because I've been using the internet for a long time, I know that these are filters. But if someone were just to walk into your store, would they know these are filters? Maybe they should have a button style, or maybe a drop-down menu or something like that. And also a label that indicates filters or sort by, okay? And then, okay, good hover effects. But now this is where imagery comes into play as well. This one, I understand, it's a handbag, okay? This one, I don't know what you're selling. Are you selling a hat? Are you selling a shirt? Are you selling the pants or the shoes? Or is it the whole outfit? So it's inconsistent because you have a product by itself and then you have multiple products with a model. And so maybe take a picture of just the product and then another photo of it on a model. So, you have, here's the product and now the product in context. And so again, this one has no model, but it's by itself. So if it was in context, it would make it better, okay? And notice the quality of this photo is not as good as this one right here. So now things start to look kind of shifty because it's like, okay, are these really your photos that you took? Or are you just pulling this off of some other server where there's another site that's really selling the products and you're just a reseller? See, all these little things come into play with just these little things. Everything matters, okay? Again, what are you selling here? Are you selling the tie? Are you selling the watch? Or are you selling the whole thing? Yeah, okay? And also, this is very tight. There is no space at the top and bottom of this text. You want to push it out more. Okay, so it's a dynamic list. Okay. So good luck with that. Keep going. Join me next week and show me what you've worked on there. Okay, Eddie? All right. Let's see here. We're going to Vidors. Oh, yes. Yes, I've seen this already before the show. But yes. Okay. This is great. This is different. Okay? And it's different because this person, Vidor, could have kept this inside the nav bar, but he chose not to on purpose. The text is coming outside, so it's it's different and it works. He's playing around with typography here. This one, he's playing around with typography and highlighting. So it now feels more like a magazine, okay? And look how much white space there is right here. This is what I'm talking about you. This makes a lot of difference, okay? It gives my, it's like right here, everything's kind of tight, but then I can breathe again because Vitter wants me to read this. And so he doesn't want anything to get in the way of reading this very important piece of text. Okay? And then this right here. Oh, man. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Be different. Play around with box overlapping each other. Okay? Now, this isn't the greatest photo. It's not high quality, but it gives a sense of lifestyle. It gives a sense of realness. Okay? Scrolling down. There's still some padding around each of these. This is what I'm talking about. See how much white space there is? That's what I'm talking about. And the same quality photo of this one to this one. And so it's consistent. And then we got the overlapping boxes. And look at that, overlapping text on top of course we need cats on the internet. And now I think this is all just work in progress. But now he's playing around with flex boxes, which is really awesome. Look at that. Flex box. Oh, we're going to 5. Going to 8. So cool. Nice. Nicely done. See, same quality photos, but they work. Nice. See how much white space? I'm telling you guys, white space helps. Great job, Vitter. Vitor, if I'm saying your name, I'm so sorry. Webflow SEO 101 would be cool. I'm not a SEO expert, so I would ask on the forums for SEO tips, because that is, I don't understand words. Lawrence asks, curious to know, if someone is using WordPress and I wanted to design a site for them, how would I add my design to WordPress account? There's a couple of forum posts on there that'll help you, that tells you how to export your Webflow site out of Webflow and then convert it to WordPress. Now, me personally, I think that's a very, very tough road, and I've taken that road a couple times and no more. I'm done with that, because that is really tough. If you can, just tell the client, hey, Webflow, think about it. All right. Here's my first website ever, a holiday via, currently being renovated, so the photos are temporary. Okay, it's a work in progress via example. Okay, Stu, let's do this. Boom. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, I've seen this. Okay, this is good. Wake up each morning, breathtaking views. Wait, let's see here. Oh, photos are temporary. Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, right here, it would be nice to have a photo more in context, where you're taking a picture from the villa, okay? Where you actually see the door or something, and then outside of the door is this view. I'd be like, whoa, I need to go there. But right now, it feels like it's a hiking trail. But if you put a villa around it, whew, that just adds more context, and it's like, whoa. This text right here, it's too small. I would make these text sizes bigger. I mean, don't be afraid of big text. Because it's like kind of big, getting smaller, and then it's like, yeah, bigger text. I would say bigger text. You want to tell people about the experience. You don't want to just be like, it's kind of hard to read. Yeah, okay, this is good. I know this is a stock photo, but oh man, this is nice. Open gallery. Cool. So you're playing around with light boxes. Great job so far. Dun-dun. I would say play around with full width. Like, it doesn't have to be inside of a container. This map doesn't have to be inside of a container. Actually, okay, I got it. This site is all about openness, being out in the open, renting a villa in nature, you're a part of nature. Nature is all about being open, right? What if you weren't using the 960 width containers? What if it went full width? You know, what if these were all full width? What if this was, your columns were full width, you know? It hit the edges, so it's more open and you have more white space around everything. Like this is open. This is beautiful. This, if this was the hero row, yes, okay? The same thing with your tabs, you know, make it open. Don't confine everything to boxes. These 4 columns right here, they can be super open in full width, and you don't even have to put gutters in between them, you know? This map could be, this definitely could be full width. This video should definitely be full width. I mean, go big, man, because you're already going big with the hero row. Don't stop. This footer, exactly what I mean. You're almost there. Keep going with it. I like it. All right. Do we have any more? What do you think about this, Nelson? It's the first thing I build in Webflow. Okay. Brian, jumping off a cliff is easier and has a similar result to converting Webflow to WordPress. Maybe the impact at the bottom of the cliff would be less painful. I'm not going to suggest any of that. Oh, wow. Okay. I like it. Yes. Terrence. Yes. Okay. So, who was that who did the who was that? Okay, whoever did the, where is it? Okay, whoever did the last site that I was talking about. Oh, Stu. So Stu, take this one for example. This one is like a Netflix for a different country, right? So see how this is a TV screen? I can tell it's a TV screen because there's a little knob here and a little thing here, and so it feels like a frame of a TV screen. That's context. It's putting this movie application inside of a TV, so I have context. See how everything's big in the background? So it looks like this TV is mounted on top, is mounted on a wall, and there's a plant here that kind of makes it feel like that. So again, it's context and it's big, and there's still a lot of white space around what I'm supposed to be looking at. Okay, so this is nice cards. I like this. White space. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Great job. Cool. And so, a lot of I don't know what it's called. It's like a Z thing or pattern or something, but this is a great pattern to follow because it keeps your user's eyes busy. First is image, then text, and then it's text and then image, and then backwards, and then backwards. And so yeah, you can easily do this inside of Flexbox now, guys. And when it squeezes down to mobile, you can flip the thing with a reverse layout inside of Flexbox. So try that. So far, this site is cool. Oh, I like that. Really? Is that an animated GIF or is that interactions? What did you do there? What did you do? Oh, it's a GIF. Okay, that's cool. No. Oh, wait, how did you... Okay, is this an image or did you shape that with CSS? Okay, it's an image. Okay, that's cool. See, look at that. Custom stock. I would fix this. Notice how head in the center, neck in the center. You might want to fix this. Okay. Yeah, great job. Like it. Go ahead, Terrence. Do it. Hi, Vlad. You're here. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Stu, awesome feedback. Hey, not a problem, man. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you push forward. I really like how to hover the button. What is this? B2B. Oh, I'm on it right now. The hover button. Talking about this? What are we talking about? Oh, that's cute. Yep. Seen those. All right. How much Lawrence asked, how much JavaScript and CSS would I need to understand? At what point of designing Webflow would I need to understand code? Great question, Lawrence. Okay, so this actually goes back to my topic that I had in the first half of this workshop. So let me give you an example. If you're going into a career of just print or graphic design, and you just pull up Photoshop and you expect to be a graphic design master or art director without any knowledge of color theory, typography, imagery, or layout, then you're going to have a tough time. Photoshop is not going to make you a graphic design master. You have to know the basics. Now, the same thing with Webflow. It's best if you learn the basics so you can become a really great web designer. Now, there's two ways you can go about this, okay? You can, and it depends on how you like to learn. You can read books or take coding classes to learn basic HTML and basic CSS, okay? You don't really have to learn JavaScript, but that's up to you. If you want to push Webflow to places it can't go at this time, then you can add JavaScript to it, to your knowledge, and make Webflow do the things that you want. Or you can use Webflow and start designing within it. And to learn HTML, you can export the code or just do a view source and start fiddling around and see, if I drag this element onto the page, export the code, or view the source, what does it look like in the code? What does that code do when I drag in the thing? So you can learn either way, you know? So you have to know the basic fundamentals of HTML and CSS to push forward with Webflow, okay? Great question. Scroll up. Okay. Mikhail, almost missed this. Welcome. Glad you can make it. We're at the last couple minutes, but I'm glad you're here. Let's see here. You hover over the download Willem button. I want this interaction to be possible. Where's the down? At? I want to create an interaction that the iPhone comes out of the div. Oh! Yeah, hold on. If you can fake it. Okay, cool. So, let me guess. Is this cut off or is this the full thing? Oh, okay, it's cut off. Okay, so, get the image of this, right? But make sure it's not cut off, right? And place it here. Yeah, you can you can place it here as a position absolute, and then make sure that the overflow is hidden, so that way you can set it as the same height as this box, right? And when you click on this, you can set the height of this guy to grow bigger on click of this, so it does come out of the box. Ha! Yeah, that would be cool. Good thought. Great interaction. Yeah, make that happen. Webshelf.webflow.io. Hi, Anna. What are you working on? Interesting. A digital bookshelf for designers. What? Whoa, that was weird. Okay. It's a huge hero, but it makes sense. Like this. You can't really see this unless you're really looking for it, so this may need to come out somehow a little bit better. Probably a white font or something like that. Excuse me. Okay. This text is getting lost in this gradient. I love the gradient. Is that part of the image? Okay, it's part of the image. So you might want to put a background color to these columns. Yeah. The margin between this, not sure why you would need this gradient here. You can probably just take it out. And you wouldn't know this is a button until you hover over it. So make it more apparent, thinking it doesn't need to go full width. See how these aren't full widths, but it's a title. So kind of like that. Make it not full width. But besides that, good job so far. Let's see here. Brainstorm Studio is a Wix site. Is a Wix website can a Wix website be easily duplicated on Webflow? The fact is that Wix provides a library of pre-made basic shapes, SVGs, which make the design process easier for everyone. Just like Nita said, you can definitely convert a Wix website to Webflow. Well, when it's a convert, you can recreate a website from a different platform onto Webflow. And the best thing about Webflow, in my opinion, is the code. The code on Webflow does not come out bloated, whereas you go to other platforms and the code becomes bloated. Like, you look at the source code on their home pages versus Webflow's homepage, and you'll see how clean our code is. So when you have clean code, it makes sites load super fast because the browser on the client side doesn't have to go through as much lines of code and translate it to your screen as much as other platforms. Okay? And library of pre-made basic shapes. Well, I would go for something that I can shape on my own rather than getting something out of a library. Now, Webflow does have some pre-made components. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but we do have tabs, sliders, nav bars, Google Maps, background videos, stuff like that people use a lot of, and it's a very basic look, but then you can shape it however you want using the CSS Styles panel. At Brainstorm, Wix is a cookie cutter type site, while Webflow is more hands-on. Webflow, you can recreate anything imaginable. Anything at all. Yeah, all these platforms have their own purpose and target. I agree with Nita. Like, when it comes to small sites, like if someone were to come to me and say, hey, I have $300 and I need a one-pager done. I'm like, okay, cool. Go to Squarespace. You know, they probably have what you need because it's just like a mom and pop shop, flower store, or a garage band or something like that. But if they're willing to work with me and start from scratch, like, hey, okay, I want to hire a copywriter, a content strategist, a photographer, a web designer, and a brand strategist. I want all of that because my company, I want it to be legit. I want it to be real. I'm doing a complete overhaul for my business. Something like that. It's like, yes, let's talk. All right? Because I want your site to be completely different. So I need a more hands-on approach as a designer to make sure that I make the site look super clean and super different to make your brand stand out. What is the latest on Interactions 2.0? Yes, I asked that too to the team, and we're still fixing it. We're still making sure it's pretty. So it's coming. I wish I had more information, Chavez. I really wish, but we're working on it. The Squarespace interface is so messy, never could really work with it. Oh. Yes. I remember one client asked, hey, can I put a background video on my Squarespace site? And I was like, okay, I can do that for you. It took me 3 hours to overwrite all of their CSS just to make that happen. Man, that was hard. But it's possible. Wix is selling for TVs that fell off a truck in Brooklyn, in my humble opinion. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Any other questions? Any other links? I'll take about like one more link or two more questions. And while I'm waiting for those, I want to tell you guys, I want to announce that next week's show, not sure what it's going to be yet. But I know that November 15th show, we're going to have Travis from Dev Tips. All right? If you haven't heard of Travis yet, he's really cool, and he's been using Webflow. Like, as a first-time user, he's been recording his whole user journey on it. All right? And check him out. He will be on the Webflow Workshop November 15th. We're going to see Webflow through a developer's eyes, someone who likes to code. And that's something I've been trying to tell developers, you know. It's okay to let go of your HTML and CSS, you know. HTML and CSS is so basic that, you know, it should be done automatically. For a developer, they should be more focused on pushing the web forward with all these crazy JavaScript stuff that I don't understand. Stuff like React, Angular, and all these other things. I've heard one time there's the Batman JS, or there's a Chef, or a... I don't know, there's all these terminologies when I would go to a JavaScript meetup, and I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, but HTML shouldn't be a thing you have to think about anymore, especially when it comes to cross-browser compatibility and stuff like that. And so Travis is going to be here November 15th to talk with us. So, yeah. Also, November 22nd, we're going to be starting a new thing, a monthly thing called the Monthly Community Spotlight, where I interview one of you guys in the community, and we just chat it up and talk about how you use Webflow, any tips you have for the rest of the community. I want to give you guys a spotlight this time. So our first community spotlight will be with Sydney on November 22nd. If you don't know Sydney, let me see if I can find him. Webflow Sydney. Here we go. Let me see here. Can I go back here? How about... Okay, here, under popular, I think. I can do that. Here we go. Yeah, this guy right here. So, I got to meet him over at the Generate conference in London, and very interesting backstory that I want to share with you guys. So, he's done a lot of cool stuff with Webflow, thinking really outside the box, and yeah, he'll be our first community spotlight. If you want to be part of the spotlight as well, just hit me up on the forum. Send me a direct message or a private message on the forum, and you know, we can talk it up. I want to know your story. I want to share your story with everyone else. Let's see here. I think we have a question. Table component. I don't know, Irfan. Sorry. How do you think that graphic designers and users can complement each other? Terrence, great question. graphic designers and UX designers should always compliment each other. They should say, "Great job. You're doing an awesome job today. Hey, nice shirt. Good job." No, but they can easily compliment each other using Webflow, because a graphic designer can teach stuff to a UX designer that comes from the graphic design world, and on the other side, a UX person who knows more about web and interactions can teach stuff like terminology to a graphic designer. For graphic designers, they say stuff like white space, margins, gutters, and serifs. They say leading and leading and kerning. But for us as web designers, UX designers, we call instead of kerning, it's letter space, and instead of leading, it's line height. So yeah, there's different terminology, but you guys can help each other if you work together as a team using Webflow, because again, it's real time. And so if someone says, "Hey, I need to fix the leading of this," you should fix the leading of this and be like, "Oh, what does that mean? Are you talking about the space in between the lines?" He's like, "Yeah, okay, oh, that's line space." And so you just fix that in the styles panel, and there you go. Oh yeah, word space. Mikhail, I have a direct question for you, Nelson. I don't know if someone ever asked, but where did you start? I started messing with Photoshop, then helping my family with logos and learning Illustrator, then code. Oh, thanks for asking, Mikhail. Where did I start? How did you get into design and development? So, it started when I was 13, when I was in middle school, and my classmate, he was messaging me on AOL. He said, "Hey, I made a web page." And I'm like, "What is that?" And then he gave me a link, and it was just a white page with black text on top, and it was just Times New Roman. Everything was default, but it said, "Hi, my name is so-and-so, I am 13, my hobbies are this, this, and this." And I was like, for some reason, it blew my mind. There was no graphics or anything, it was just text, but it blew my mind. I was like, how did you build something on your computer and I'm able to see it on mine? What? And so I wanted to get deeper into it. And then it blew my mind even more when I learned about GeoCities, that you can sign up for GeoCities for free and you can pick a home. Yes, back then you had to pick a home. There's like a graphic of a neighborhood, like a windy street, and you would have to click on a home that was vacant, and you click on that, and that became your home on GeoCities, right? So I clicked on that, and I started playing around with their basic, their web wizard editor thing, where you would just fill out a form, and then it would create the HTML for you, and then you have a web page. But I wanted to go further, because I was like, okay, if I do this in the web wizard, and I press publish, how did that happen? And so they had a web wizard for basic users and an advanced editor, which actually shows you all the code. And so I got curious and I said, okay, I'm going to publish on the basic, but then I'm going to flip to advanced and see what did what. Okay, so this tag did this tag did this. Okay, what if I copy and paste the tag? What would happen? And so that's all I would do all the time. And so that's how I started. Just copying URLs of GIFs of like lemmings or running dogs as my horizontal roles, as my HRs. It was, my first website was called Timberwolf's website. Why Timberwolf? Because back then I was a huge fan of MechWarrior, and NetMech just came out, and I don't know if anyone who's old enough to remember those games, but man, you know, I love sci-fi, I love robots and robots shooting missiles and whatnot, and so I liked the mech Timberwolf, and that was my favorite. It looked cool, it had so many missiles, and yeah, Timberwolf's website. Let's see here. Well, thanks for asking, Mikhail. Looked like a ransom note from Mr. Rogers. Live sessions are really awesome. Hey, no problem, Terrence. Hopefully you can come next week. So, great segue. Let's do the sign-offs. This show happens every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can catch us on our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/webflow or webflow.com/workshops. Hit us up on social media, facebook.com/webflow or twitter.com/webflowapp, or you can hit me up at webflow_Nelson or at thepixelgeek. If you have any account, billing, or technical questions or issues, hit me up at support@webflow.com. If you have any design issues or custom code, that's when you would go to the awesome community over at forum.webflow.com. All these people in the chat room right now, they're from the forums, and they're super helpful, and they want to converse with you because they can learn something, you can learn something, and then you guys can pass that forward to the next generation of Webflow designers, and going, because we're all growing together. We all want to make awesome websites that like blow people's minds, so let's all learn together. And lastly, anything else I missed? I think that's it. Everyone in the chat room, Brian, Mikhail, Nita, Vitter, Irfan, and if I forgot you, I know Michael was here, Vlad was here, Anna, Michael, yeah, Bartosz was here. Thank you, everyone. Brainstorm, Brian. I said your name twice. Terrence, Stu, Lawrence. Oh man, you guys make me super happy to stream because I love geeking out about websites. So yeah, be here next week, Tuesday at 10 a.m. And as always, make the web beautiful. See ya.